So before I start the video, make sure you click the CC button for subtitles and click the settings button to adjust the speed yourself if you think I speak too fast. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of PRAKTEK listening. I actually haven't really come up with a cool name as I promised you guys in the last video, but for now let's just stick with PRAKTEK listening. So in the last episode of PRAKTEK listening, I'm actually pretty happy that I got a lot of positive feedback from you guys that you like this kind of concept where I speak in English fully with subtitles and some explanation text somewhere in the screen. So that's why I'm gonna go forward with this series, and hopefully a lot of you guys would keep liking it. So if I could be really honest, this is actually my 11th take taking this video. I did my 10 takes last night, but I decided that it was just it would go nowhere. I wouldn't have made any good video last night, so I decided to just do it again today with a fresh mind. So I initially wrote a really long script about a topic that I wanted to talk about in this video, but I decided that it was too long and I sounded so robotic and unnatural. So I decided to just wing it this time. You know, I'm just gonna throw that script out the window and just say whatever comes to my mind right now. I'm just going to wing it. So if you guys have any other suggestions about what other topics I should talk about in the series, comment down below so that, you know, I have an idea of what you guys want to hear from me in English. So in this video, I think I just want to talk about dealing with boredom, you know, because here in the Netherlands, if you guys don't know, I live in the Netherlands, and we are in our second lockdown here. So the first lockdown happened last March when everything began until June. So in June, all the stores are open, or all the terraces, no, I mean like all the restaurants are open. So life was good in the summer, you know. But then the rate of infection rose again around October or something, and then the government just decided to lock all of the restaurants, bars, cafes, closed. So yeah, here people haven't been able to go to the restaurant since October unless it's for pickup, you know. So you can still go to the restaurant to pick up food, but you can't really dine in. In December, the government decided to close all the stores, non-essential stores, so like clothing, furniture, accessories or whatever. They decided to close it because in December a lot of people went Christmas shopping and the infection rate just rose again. So yeah, they've been closing the store since December, and so since December, January, February until today, there just hasn't been much to do. Although right now there's actually a lot more pressure from the public to the government to open the restaurants again, because I think people are really starting to get sick, and they really have a much higher need for some easing of restrictions, you know. So people want to go to restaurants again, they want the terraces to open. So for those of you who don't know, terraces are, in Bahasa Indonesia, is like teras, you know, where people can sit outside of the bar or cafe or restaurant. Then it's a really big thing here in the Netherlands because people love to sit outside when the sun's out. So people here, they really appreciate the sun more than any Indonesians ever would. So yeah, you know, when the sun's out, people don't really have places to sit. Well, they would sit at a park, they would sit maybe, I don't know, by the canals or something, but it's never really the same if you sit at a terrace. You know, you drink a beer, you drink a cafe in the middle of the day like that. So it's never really the same. I'm actually gonna take some coffee. I like my cup. Me personally, I would say earlier in the year, maybe in January, February, I had quite some difficulties dealing with my boredom. So okay, let's talk about dealing with boredom. I don't know if you guys are experiencing the same boredom as I do, because here in the Netherlands things are a lot more restricted than in Indonesia. I think in Indonesia, I don't know, I think as far as I know in Jakarta, malls are open. You can still go to restaurants, you can still meet people, although it's a lot more restricted than it used to be. But here in the Netherlands, things are just, it's almost unbearable actually. Well, we're actually quite lucky that we can still go outside, you know, go out to the park and take a walk by the river, so that helps a lot. But I think I do miss going to restaurants, having, you know, some get together with my friends, even going to a cafe to work there sometimes. So it's a little bit hard to just keep myself entertained at home all the time. I think earlier this year I had more difficulties dealing with it, although now it's a lot more controlled. I think ever since this whole thing started, I learned how important it is to have something to look forward to. So one of the reasons why I felt so bleak and so blah earlier this year was because I really had nothing that I was looking forward to. Like I have no travels planned. I have no gatherings with friends planned. Well, some here and there, but it's not really as fun as it used to be, of course. Oops. Day by day would go by without really a sense of purpose in my life. So I would wake up, I would do things that I have to do. Hello? Okay. I would wake up and I would do things that I would have to do, like writing a script or, I don't know, answer questions on my online course here and there. But then after that, there's really no reward that I would look forward to. Normally, I would go through the week doing my work, and then in the weekends, we're gonna go here, we're gonna go there, we're gonna do this and that. So that's always a nice thing to hold on to. So it's like, this whole week will be done, and then by the end of the week I get to have fun. But now that sense of having fun is not there, and that's why it's been really hard to also stay motivated. So I reached a stage of boredom where I had a lot of entertainment at home around me. Like, I could watch a movie, I could play my guitar, I could read a book, I could, stay on my phone and watch YouTube videos all day. But in the end, they just don't fulfill me. They don't, I don't find them as entertaining anymore. And then everything just feels bleak. I think in bahasa Indonesia would be kind of jenuh, ngerasa jenuh banget gitu. So this year I think I really learned the importance of having something to look forward to. Back when I was working with a company, I think my superior told me, like my boss told me that it's very important to set some, to have some holidays planned for you. So maybe every 3 or 4 months, even if it's just like a week or a weekend or a long weekend or something, because then you could go 2 or 3 months working knowing that you have that reward in the end. It's like, I'm gonna keep working, at least that in a month I get to have a vacation. So that's important to keep yourself going. So after, let's say, by in the end of working for 3 or 4 months, you're already kind of feeling burnt out. And then once you went on a vacation for 3 or 4 days, you're all refreshed again. You can see everything with a new pair of fresh eyes. So that was when my former boss told me how important it is to have vacations planned here and there. Whereas now, I can't really plan, a vacation, because I can't really plan my next travels or vacation, because, you don't really know what's gonna go on, how it's gonna be in a few months' time. So things are just kind of being on hold right now. But hopefully, I'm very hopeful with the vaccine. The vaccine is rolling out pretty fast here in the Netherlands. Hopefully by the summer or even the fall, things would get back, slightly more normal. I could travel again. Hopefully I could go back to Indonesia this year. I would say that is something I'm looking forward to. So to have something to look forward to doesn't have to be something fun, it also has to be, it could also be something with a purpose. So for instance, even though I don't really have anything fun to look forward to, like travels or vacation with friends or anything like that, I decided to pick up a new project for my business, for my YouTube, my online course. And this actually helps me a lot to have a little purpose in my days. So since I decided to start this new project for myself, I find it a lot more exciting. I find my days slightly more exciting, It's like I would wake up and it's like, I get to work on this project. I get to write this. I get to do that, Even though it's not exactly fun, right? It's not really a vacation or a hangout with friends. But it's still something about my work that I find exciting. So that is something to look forward to during the day. So I think that is one way for me to deal with it. And so far, it actually helps a bit. It actually does help me cope through this dark and gloomy days where nothing's open and things are just so boring and bleak. So that is the end of my curhatan this week. I hope you guys learned some new words, some new expressions, and trained your listening skills. Make sure you comment down below to tell me what other topics you would like me to cover, and we'll definitely try to cover them in the next episodes. So I will see you next week, and have a good day. Bye bye.